there's going to be some spoilers here. So for people who haven't seen Andor season 2, there'll probably be some spoilers that pop in here and there. So you've been warned. Let's get into it. And by the way, you're going to get a full-on clip video. So be prepared because we haven't got Mike's thoughts on it. I'm assuming that you loved this.
Andor?
Yeah, the season 2.
Yeah.
And the ending, they stuck the landing.
Yeah. The only thing, it wasn't even an issue. Why did Partagas kill himself? That was the only thing I'm kind of like, what's because he's, Dedra and all that, and Krennic, she was in the email chain and whatnot, which was awesome. But like with Partagas, I'm like, why is he killing himself? But I don't know. I just great. Just a good show. Man.
It was such a great show. They delivered it really well. But the arcs, I didn't watch Rogue One, but afterwards, everyone's been talking about that going into.
See, I know people. Okay, we talked about that. You were like, and someone said, people talk like Rogue One's the finale. Like, I feel you didn't need it. I mean, of course it's there, the story, but it wasn't like episode 12 ended, and I'm like, well, here we go. I was just like, wow, man, that's a lot to take in over 12 episodes, and I left fully satisfied.
It was so good. It was.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, now it's the final part. Like it was just, I thought man.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and there were so many just great performances. Like, you see what I was saying about Clea, how she just kind of came out of nowhere and became like a star of the series. Like,
did you read? Someone was saying Gilroy, like her part was much smaller, and the more he worked with her, the more he started writing for her because she was so good. And
great.
Towards the end there, the fastest she became like a fan favorite. Like
Roxy
everyone was talking about her.
It was like her first acting job or something too.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, I see. It's hilarious is that I said this, and I remember when we talked about it because Josh Horowitz had a really great interview with Tony Gilroy, and when this was coming up, I said about K2SO. I remember when we made this video, we made a mock video with Brett talking about Canon. I said there is no world that Tony Gilroy is going to stick to the canon of comics. And he said there was. You saw the clip.
I remember. I think I just read it last night.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, there's some comic book or something too, and about the origin story. It's like I'm not paying attention to that.
I'm not doing that.
Right. It has nothing to do with him. It's like, look, there was always my point. People ask me why I don't read the books anymore, and there's two different reasons why you read the books. So it's Turtle Beach time, and I'm excited to talk about them again. Man, that Stealth 700 headset that I got, whoo-wee, the sound. I was playing the Indiana Jones game. The sound is just so, it's like, you guys know how I am with sound and movies in general. Playing this game and hearing every little bit of sound because the headset is just so incredible. It just does, it leaps and bounds better than previous ones that I've used. But it's funny when you're playing the game and you're so just taken in by all the sounds because the headset is so incredible. I was like, oh, wait, I gotta pay attention to what's going on. I'm going to get popped by one of these bad guys. And the other great thing about it's got an 80-hour battery life. I was like, oh, I got to charge this thing. It's like, no, not yet. You got time. I mean, you could. You don't have to. And that's the worst when you're playing a game, you're doing something with the headset, and then just craps out, and you're like, oh, I got to wait forever. It's great. The Stealth 700 has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. It means you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and the PC with just a click of a button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming, taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, all done with the Stealth 700. And it's not just amazing headsets that Turtle Beach has. They have every gaming accessory that you could ever want, and they're all high quality, and they're prices that don't break the bank. It's the most important. From flight and racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach is the ultimate gaming cheat code. You got to head to turtlebeach.com. You got to use that code Kristian. 10% off your entire order. That is 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com. Use the promo code Kristian. You're going to purchase it like you did last time. They'll ask you where you heard about them. You got to tell them our show sent you. We did it. Get the ultimate immersed gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. The first is just to read good Star Wars stories and in general, and just lose yourself in the world and read a book. And I say, if you got to be kidding me. She did that on purpose. My wife called me again. She does it every show, dude. She did this on purpose. Anyway, so Andor, see, that's what happens. My wife.
Look what you did. Now you're all messed up.
Jesus, every time. fucking thing. And so the K2SO,
yeah,
it happens, and this when they announced it at first, the Lucasfilm, they're like, okay, everything's canon. You're gonna be rewarded for it. So if you're a Canon junkie and you want to get those little things and see it on the screen, it's bullshit because they go exactly. The dog knows it too, and it's one of these things where you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is you're lied to me, because if people want to change, oh, it's canon until it isn't. Filoni changed stuff up when Rebels and everything. So the fact that Gilroy was like, damn, we're sticking to that. No shit. We knew that. But I liked I liked his origin story with K2SO. I thought it worked.
Yeah, I thought, like, I mean, you got to look at the grand scheme of things. Like, the comic audience is very small. You know, the general audiences are not going to see, or to the local comic store to pick this up, you know. And again, when they did that, that was like 4 or 5 years ago they did that comic. So Andor wasn't even a thought. So it was just like,
I mean, it might have been, but even so, it's like,
yeah.
But it also shows the no collaboration with anybody else who, like, you would. Yeah, it's so silly. But the reason I bring up all Andor stuff too is we talk about how great Bix was. So you see the way that it ended. Disney has plans for Bix, to which you said, no shit. It's AJ Arjona. She is hot right now. Andor may have finished its 2-season run, and that may not be the last that we've heard of some of the new characters that were introduced. There's some spoilers again for season 2. While the key character of the series died on Scarif in the events of Rogue one character who wasn't there and continued to live on was Cassian's friend turned lover, Bix. Final scene in the series sees the introduction of a child that she and Cassian had, a child he will never get to meet. Now, Daniel Rickman reports there are rumblings that Lucasfilm has more plans for the Bix character. What these plans are is anybody's guess. Some fans have speculated Oscar Isaac's Poe Dameron as that child grown up, despite such a connection being incredibly forced. However, about 9 years ago or so passed between the end of Andor and the beginning of The Mandalorian, so Bix or her son's return in Mandoverse series would be quite possible. Arjona has previously expressed a willingness to reprise the role if asked. You know, it's relevant to what we just talked about with the Tony Gilroy going, paying attention to that. Speaking of comics, we have who Poe's parents are. They're in the comic book.
Yeah,
we met Luke, and there's a whole storyline. But
I heard, and again, they were fans, but I heard that nonsense. I'm like, that shit drives me crazy when they are so into it that they have to make these mental gymnastics to make something. It's like, no, it's just a random baby.
Yeah,
that doesn't need to be the pilot that destroys the 5th Death Star, and it's all connected because her dad.
I'm doing this.
Dad did this with the Death Star, and it's just no.
I'm just doing this as a goof. You'll be back in 5 minutes. Not you. I'm just doing it as a goof. Pooh the weenie said I was being grumpy today from being back from the gym, so I just put them in timeout. That has nothing to do with anything. Pooh, you can come back. You're being a weenie. Pooh, I'm being a weenie right now. Pooh, you can come back. You'll be back in 5 minutes. But just I just want to
put time limits on people.
You can put people in timeout for 5 minutes, and Pooh the weenie did nothing wrong. Yeah, he did nothing wrong, but I decided to put Pooh the weenie into for a lot of different reasons. One, it's fun to say Pooh the weenie, and now Pooh the weenie is now.
You're a child.
Yeah, yes, I am. Indeed. Okay. So, like, I think that you're gonna get. You have to. Well, first of all, they can get rid of the canon. They don't need to, like you just said, though. They don't have to be connected. I would love to see her show up in one of these stories and one of these whatever it might be that you see her a little later on. You know, it's probably not too far away, but fitting into the Mandoverse. You know, so if it's not too far off, it's not that far off.
I'm torn because I love the character.
Yeah, and you know, she fits in the goofy Filoni verse.
I just think that, like, her last thought is the fact that she thinks she's going to see Andor again. Like, she's hopeful that she's going to see him, and she doesn't know how bad it's going to get, you know, over the next however many years. Like, right. I think that's kind of tragic, and I love that. And so what are we going to see the kid kind of grow? Like, is she going to find out that he dies? Because no one, you know, like, how is word going to get back that he died? And, you know, is she going to then become a rebel fighter? And there is a storyline there, I'm sure, but sometimes I think with characters, it's just, to me, she's a character that if she popped up somewhere as a force in the rebellion and it's just a brief cameo, that would be awesome. I don't know if I need to see a whole show based on her.
I don't think we need a show. I just, and it doesn't say in this report that there's a show. It just says that they have plans for her, which they should have plans for her. I mean, also, here's the other thing. You better lock her down to something now, because she ain't going to stay the same price for very long. Whether she becomes Wonder Woman or whatever it is, bigger and better things for Adria Arjona. She's gonna be one of the big stars very, very soon. She's already getting there. She stole the show in everything that she did in Andor. She stole the show. And she is phenomenal. She does that in every movie she's in. I mean, dude, she was even a standout in that piss box Morbius.
She's in Morbius?
Yeah, she was the main love interest. She was the only, well, Matt Smith was actually pretty good in that too. Is it Mobius or Morbius? Morbius is from Loki. Yeah, that's Loki. Yeah. But I thought she's great. So you got to lock her down. I would lock her down now. And maybe they already did. Maybe they said, hey, when you're in this contract, it means that this character could show up later on down the line. I mean, that would be the smart move to do. Yeah. I kind of agree with you though, too. It makes me nervous to see that character outside of Tony Gilroy's protection. You know, it's like, that's
another thing. Yeah. I just
Filoni's dialogue. Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, but again, it's like, what's it gonna like? So the Empire goes stronger. She realizes she needs to fight again, and then she's got the kid, and I feel it's a story we've seen before.
Yeah,
you know, and she's been through so much. Like, it's like, I don't know. If she pops up, I'm not gonna be like, oh Jesus. But
yeah, it just depends on how they're gonna do it. Let me see. I'm trying to juggle a lot of different things. Okay. So let's see. Next one let's see. We have another topic that I'm very curious about. First of all, before we do that, for you guys, do you think that Adria Arjona should show up again? Do you want to see her show up again? Do you want to see Bix again? Should she have her own show? Should she be in a movie? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know.